Medical experts estimate the novel coronavirus cases in the country can peak to 75,000 in the next 3 months if not properly contained.
Ang ibig sabihin po nitong 75,000 na ito, that in 2 to 3 months, it can reach that peak kung saan 75,000 ang pwedeng magkaroon ng impeksyon. Pero ang sinasabi naman ho natin, we can flatten this curve. Ibig sabihin, pwede ho nating i-prevent na mangyari na mag-peak ng ganito ang ganitong numero.
There are 202 positive cases of COVID-19 in the Philippines as of Wednesday, March 18. The health department says 3 patients have died, bringing the total death count to 17. 7 patients recovered so far from the virus in the Philippines. Data scientists Christopher Monterola and Erica Phil Legara also calculated that 26,000 patients in the Philippines can get COVID-19 by the end of March alone if its random spread is not contained. Meantime, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergara says there is no proven cure for COVID-19 yet. Cabinet Secretary and spokesman of the Interagency Task Force on the Coronavirus Outbreak, Carlo Nograles, announces the heightened measures from the government as a Luzon-wide lockdown is implemented.
Mandatory home quarantine for everyone. Ang purpose po is to contain the spread of the virus, prevent the virus from transferring from one place to another through a mobile host or carrier. Only one person per household would be able to buy or access basic necessities.
In Quezon City, Kalusugan and Tandangsora villages each have 3 COVID-19 patients and are placed under heightened community quarantine. Quezon City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management officials say the 2 villages are now classified as hot zones, where people are not allowed to leave the house or others to enter, and the villages will be under guard 24/7. The province of Leyte is also placed under general community quarantine starting Wednesday, March 18 until April 17. Entry in the province is prohibited, and health workers, military, and police are the only ones allowed in. President Rodrigo Duterte declared a state of calamity in the Philippines last March 16 as cases of COVID-19 continue to spike. He also placed the entire island of Luzon under enhanced community quarantine that day. Tricycle drivers registered with the Makati city government will receive an initial 2,000 peso cash assistance each in the wake of the Luzon-wide lockdown. Makati Mayor Abby Binay says 5,952 duly registered tricycle drivers in the city will receive assistance. The city government also deployed buses to ferry Ospital na Makati workers for free. Meanwhile, the Philippine government says it will provide transportation to health workers. This comes as the frontliners were seen walking from their homes to their destinations when public transportation was suspended during the Luzon-wide lockdown. Interagency Task Force on the Coronavirus Outbreak spokesman Carlo Nograles says point-to-point transportation will be provided and will cover both public and private health workers and workers and volunteers of the Philippine Red Cross and the World Health Organization. Nograles also says all nationalities are now allowed to fly out of airports from Luzon for the entire duration of the lockdown. This allows overseas Filipino workers bound by their contracts to return overseas, while balikbayans can return to their countries of residence where they have families. Nograles says the travelers should show their ticket to prove their flight is in 24 hours and should also be accompanied by only one person. But Nograles clarifies Filipinos traveling as tourists will not be allowed to leave the country. Pasig City Mayor Vico Sotto urges the national government to allow tricycles on the streets after the national government bans all public transportation during the enhanced community quarantine to deter spread of the coronavirus.
Ito po, nakikiusap po ako sa ating nasyonal na pamahalaan. Baka naman pwede bigyan po ng konsiderasyon yung tricycle dahil ako po, sa risk assessment po na ginawa namin, kapag hindi po natin pinayagan ng mga tricycle, mas marami pong mamamatay. Yung mga kailangan pong magpa-dialysis, yung mga post-surgery po na kailangan magpa-check up, kailangan pumunta ng ospital. Paano po siya pupunta dito?
Meanwhile, the Office of Vice President Lenny Robredo provides free shuttle service for health workers starting Wednesday, March 18. At the station, passengers will have their temperatures checked and their hands sanitized with alcohol. They also need to register in a logbook before riding. Social distancing measures will be in place. There are 6 routes for the service, which will pass several hospitals across the metro. Philippine weightlifting star Hidilyn Diaz remains positive despite the uncertainty surrounding her return to the Olympics. Diaz continues to train in Malaysia with her team, but says her heart goes out to those affected by the coronavirus outbreak. Diaz's road to Tokyo 2020 is in peril after the host of her last qualifying tournament, Colombia, placed a travel ban on Europe and Asia last Sunday, March 15.
Keep safe everyone. Lahat po tayo apektado sa COVID-19. Please wash our hands and kahit sabihin kong don't panic, kahit ako napapanik na rin ako. Hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin, but let's surrender it to God.
Meanwhile, International Olympic Committee or IOC member Hayley Wickenheiser says Tuesday, March 17, pressing ahead with plans for the Tokyo Games are insensitive and irresponsible. IOC and Japanese officials insist they are working towards staging the Olympics as planned despite the escalating coronavirus pandemic. Wickenheiser says athletes can't train, attendees can't travel plan. I think the IOC insisting this will move ahead with such conviction is insensitive and irresponsible given the state of humanity. Cast and staff of ABS-CBN show Love Thy Woman undergoes self-quarantine after actor Christopher De Leon confirmed he tested positive for the coronavirus. The media company says it stopped the tapings of their teleseries and continues to monitor the situation and provide assistance to those affected. De Leon confirmed on Tuesday, March 17, he tested positive for the coronavirus. He and his family have since self-quarantined.